Everybody, how's it going out there? This week I wanted to cover a topic of controversy that occurred surrounding convention badges. And then I realized I have a problem. I never covered convention badges on this channel. So if I start talking about badges all over the place, people might get confused as to what I'm talking about. Because furries, we got badges, son. If you ever go to a furry convention, you will sometimes see people are sometimes walking billboard signs who have badges all up and down their body, and they look like a walking mosaic of art potpourri just splurted upon their chest. Let's talk about badges, all right? Because there's a lot of ambiguity when I'm talking about badges, what kind of badges I'm talking about. In furry, it's weird like that. Most conventions that people go to, if you're talking about a convention badge, there's really only one kind of badge, and that is your attendee badge. With the topic on Monday, my Monday's video, we'll be talking about those kinds. So I'm going to put up an image on the screen here. These are all of my convention badges up to Anthrocon 2017. If you notice, I only really attend 3 conventions, but I've attended them for multiple years. So I've attended Furthermore 3 times, I've attended Anthrocon multiple times, I've attended Midwest Fur Fest multiple times, and by the way, one more time than's pictured here, I don't have my Midwest Fur Fest 2017 badge in this photo because I took this one in the summertime of last year. And by the way, that one up top, what the heck is up with that one way up here? Way up there. What's up with that one? Well, that badge is on a sling, and that sling is from that story I shared about the incident where I tripped over a road sign while spotting for another fursuiter because I didn't have a fursuit at the time. But I ended up in the hospital because of not watching where my feet were going, and my big feet frickin' tripped over a road sign. You can watch more about that up there. But anyways, so that's the sling. I still have the sling for when I had to put my arm in it. So that is a convention badge. A convention badge is something that is required of you to purchase to attend a furry convention. So basically, it's usually around about $50, $50 is usually the average price of a attendance badge. You can buy even shinier badges and nicer badges that will give you perks to go into, to have front row seats and things like that. Those usually cost a little bit more money, but those are also attendance badges. The attendance badge usually contains, as you can see here, a name of some description to describe who you are, your attendee number, which is like a tiny little number at the bottom corner typically, and typically some form of, thing to sell what convention it's an attendance badge for, typically with unique art from year to year so that they can easily identify whether the badge is for this year or if it was for a previous year or whatnot. Which is where their kind of theming thing comes into play. It's like if they rotate themes every year, they can kind of make the badges sort of a certain theme, and then they'll recognize whether it's that year's theme or not. Even if you attend a previous year's convention, they can identify it pretty quick. So that's what a convention badge is. If you don't have a convention badge and you're attending a convention, that is what's called ghosting a convention. Don't do that. It's not nice. Most of the time, in order to ensure that people are not ghosting conventions, people will be sitting, there's people usually in security who sit in front of a door of most areas in the convention, most popular areas particularly, such as the dealer's den, which is the artist alley, or in the artist alley dealer's den sort of area, to make sure that people going in there are fine. People who, they'll sit in front of popular panels, usually in main events or in the main ballrooms. They don't have, usually conventions don't have enough to have security everywhere, so like smaller little panels about miscellaneous stuff may not have somebody sitting outside the door at all times, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't be paying for attendance anyway. Don't ghost my panels, man. It's not nice. Anyways, because they gotta pay the money that you use to pay for those badges goes towards running the convention and renting the place out and all these other miscellaneous expenses that the convention runs to give you a good time. On Monday's topic, when I'm talking about badges, and I'll remind you at the beginning of that video, is I will exclusively be talking about the convention badge. There are other kinds of badges that you can have, though, and typically, ironically, when in the general furry discussion world, when somebody says the word badge, they're actually not talking about the convention badge, which is ironic since the convention badge is the most important thing. It's the thing that allows you to attend the convention. Typically, when a furry in general conversation is talking about badges, they are talking what is called the artistic badge, or what I call the fursona badge. These, what's this? These are artist renderings of your fursona and typically have your fursona name on them. They come in an immense different amount of styles. This one's it's basically just has the fursona, has a bust of my fursona, has my name, and has the thing at the bottom. So these are typically what furries talk about when they do this, because these are the artist ones. These are the ones that have the arts on it and the name on it, and like, this is not practical. You can't get into anything. If you wave this at somebody at a convention, they're going to go, that's not your badge. When we want your convention badge, you can't go in just because you have a pretty drawing of yourself. Some people do get one of these every time they go to a convention. Those people are weird. Those people, I don't know, man. Like, you got art problems. You got Art Jones and problems. But like, it's, artists love you for it, so keep doing it for them. But those are the kinds of people I was saying that literally look like billboards. Like, they have like so many art badges of themselves that it's like crazy. So those are typically what people talk about when they say badges. Like when an artist says, I'm going to commission you for a badge, commission me for a badge, these are the kind of badges they're talking about. There are also other kinds of badges, interestingly enough. There's what I call the informational badge. This is not a badge of your fursona or of anything else. This is an example of one. This is Flinters. By the way, this one was from Mr. F. This one was called Grandpa Joe. He goes by various names. That's who did that one. This one is from like one of Flinter's miscellaneous badges. And these are what I call it. I call them informational badges. Now, they can also have different things. Not all of them are purely informational. Some of them just have like cute little catchphrases or things like that. Those are sort of in the miscellaneous section, but this is sort of in the miscellaneous section too. But I call this one informational because it provides the individual seeing it with information that they might not otherwise glean from this. So it's useful in certain regards because it has kangaroo on it, so you assume that the person wearing it is a kangaroo, right? So if I showed somebody a picture of myself, if I was out of fursuit and I was just wearing this, someone might go, oh, you're a cute bunny rabbit. Is your fursona a bunny rabbit? And I go, no, it's a kangaroo. So I have to explain it to them if I don't have a fursuit and don't have that big old tail behind me. So this kind of badge helps in that regard. One of the most popular ones of these, I believe it's made by someone named Mary, I believe. But basically it's called the Certified Species Badge. It has like a picture of just a generic species, like just a generic picture of the species in the middle. It has the word certified above it, and then it has the thing at the bottom. I'll put a link in the description below. I didn't think of this example before that. I would have put the images up there if I had thought of that example before. But those ones are very well known, the certified badges. So look in the description below. I'll post a link to like the certified examples of the certified badges. So those are informational badges. Those are the kind of badges that you can utilize and get information about a person's persona. Particularly if you don't have a fursuit, informational badges are extremely useful. If you want your fursona to be a rabbit or a squirrel or any of that stuff, and you don't have a fursuit for it, and you're just, and a majority of furries, by the way, don't have a fursuit, informational badges are useful for, letting people know what your fursona species is, even if you don't have a fursuit to express it quite yet. There's another kind of badge. So we're at type of badge 4. These kind of badges are sort of bling badges. I don't know like what I call them, but One of the ones is one of the mainline ones known is the Fursuiter Badge. Many conventions, furry conventions, have adopted the idea of the Fursuiter Badge, which is basically you show up down to, it's for one, helps them get a fursuit count. So, so basically, helps them get a count of how many fursuiters showed up at their convention. So they'll print up these like these kind of. This is one from Anthrocon 2011. This is not mine, by the way. This fursuit premiered at Furthermore 2013. This was for the person that I'd spotted for. I'd spotted for them for 2 years. And the second year was when I had the incident, and I ended up with their fursuit badge. So if you're watching, individual, I still have it. If you want it, you could take it if you want. But here's an example of one. So basically, if you're a fursuiter, you go down, pick it up, and they usually use how many were taken as a count of how many fursuiters showed up. It's not an exact science, obviously, because somebody could have 2 fursuits and for some reason brought both of them to them with a convention and then can incidentally take 2 fursuiter badges if they really were inclined to. I don't know why you would do that. That's mean. You don't need more than one of these things, all right? Like, so that's another kind of badge. So, like, badges are a big deal in the furry fandom. They're kind of the starting point, really, for a convention goer. They are the way to express your fursona to individuals, even if you don't have a fursuit. They're the way to sort of, it's sort of like a weird billboard kind of a thing. It's like you can advertise yourself through your badges, and so for instance, like there might be an information badge out there, which I'm pretty sure there is, as seen on YouTube. And if you're a YouTube furry, that kind of informational badge might, build into your character a little bit. Even if people know you're on YouTube, it's like, but yeah, you can say as seen as in YouTube and sort of have, that kind of thing going. So these kind of various different badges are a very big staple of furry conventions. And today we went over the 4 different styles. The 4 different styles being the convention badge, the convention badge, basically, the fursona or artistic badge, the informational badge, sort of a part of it, miscellaneous badges, and sort of the fursuiter badge that you can get for many conventions. I don't think all conventions offer fursuiting badges, particularly the smaller ones that are the first time out, where you can just literally hand count. It's like, there's 5 fursuiters. Or I don't know, like, is there any furry conventions out there that just start with 5 fursuiters anymore? I mean, it's kind of interesting. Like, I've never seen a small starting convention anymore. It's always larger than people expected. Like, back in the day where they only have, like, a handful of people. It's like, oh, that person had, like, those 2 or 3 people have fursuits. Like that. Those days are gone now. Those old times are gone. But anyways, that's our general description of badges. Hopefully that'll help in understanding, and I'll link to this video on Monday's video in order to help people understand these different kind of badges and what we mean by them. That way we can just talk about the controversy that occurred over the Eurofins thing tomorrow without any stipulations and confusion as to what badges and things are. So I'm going to get the hop out of here. Hopefully that video was informational to you. If you were a staple furry fan, I'm sure that you already knew all this, but I just wanted to have a video that kind of described this stuff for references in case I need to talk about badges in the future, regardless of what I'm talking about on Monday, which is probably going to happen. So thank you very much for watching. Kick that like, kick the subscribe button, kick a comment in the comment section. Are you a walking billboard of furry badges? And if so, please, like, if you want to, post links of yourself, by the way, not anyone else. If you are a walking billboard of badges, I want to have like let's do this. Let's have like people post links to like Imager links with like they're just like their whole body covered in badges, and let's see how crazy we can get with those. Like that'd be kind of cool to see. So if you are one of those guys who are a walking billboard, please share an image of your billboardness down in the comment section below. Kick that like, kick the subscribe button. I'm going to get the hop out of here. Thank you very much for watching, as always. And I will see you next time.